You feel it, even if you don't understand why. Something powerful is shifting in your life right now, and it's bringing your soulmate closer than ever before. Watch closely, because these 7 signs are hidden messages your soul can't ignore. When your soulmate is manifesting, it doesn't arrive loudly, it doesn't announce itself with fireworks, and it doesn't knock on your door with a clear label saying, "This is the one." Instead, it moves quietly, subtly, almost mysteriously through your life, shifting your emotions, rearranging your thoughts, and gently nudging your soul in ways that feel confusing at first but deeply meaningful when you look back later. Because before two souls meet physically, they meet energetically, and the universe always prepares you long before the introduction ever happens, which is why so many people miss the signs, dismiss them as coincidence, or brush them off as imagination, even though nothing about this phase is accidental. Right now, if you are watching this or listening to these words, there is a strong possibility that your soulmate is already moving closer to you, not in distance, but in alignment, because manifestation is not about chasing someone, it's about becoming the version of yourself that naturally attracts the connection that was always meant for you, and when that process begins, your inner world starts changing first, often in strange, unexpected, and sometimes uncomfortable ways. One of the most overlooked signs that your soulmate is manifesting is the sudden emotional clearing that happens within you, where old attachments, past heartbreaks, and even people you once thought you could never let go of start losing their emotional grip on you, not because you forced yourself to move on, but because something inside you simply feels done, finished, complete. As if your soul finally understands that chapter has served its purpose, and this emotional release can feel confusing because there may not be a clear reason for it. Nothing dramatic happened, no big closure conversation took place, yet you feel lighter, calmer, and strangely uninterested in revisiting the past, which is exactly what happens when your energy is preparing to receive something new. Another strange sign appears in the way your intuition becomes unusually active, where you start sensing things before they happen, feeling guided away from certain people or situations without logical explanation, and drawn toward ideas, places, or routines that make no sense to your rational mind but feel deeply right in your heart, and this heightened intuition is not random. It's your inner compass recalibrating itself to align with the frequency of your soulmate, because when two souls are meant to meet, they begin adjusting to each other long before the encounter, like two instruments slowly tuning themselves to the same note. You may also notice that your standards suddenly rise, not in an arrogant way, but in a grounded, self-respecting way, where things you once tolerated now feel unacceptable, emotional games feel exhausting, inconsistency feels unattractive, and superficial connections no longer satisfy you, which can make you feel lonely at times, wondering why it has become so hard to connect with people. But in reality, it's not that connections are harder, it's that you are no longer available for connections that would distract you from what is coming, because your soulmate requires a version of you that knows their worth, not one that settles out of fear. As this manifestation unfolds, time itself can start behaving strangely, where days feel unusually slow or incredibly fast, and moments of reflection feel deeper than before, especially at night, when you find yourself thinking about love in a calm, hopeful way rather than a desperate or painful one. And this shift is important because longing mixed with peace is a sign of alignment, while longing mixed with anxiety is a sign of attachment, and the universe only delivers soulmates when longing transforms into trust. You might also experience repeated symbolic patterns around you, such as seeing the same numbers over and over again, encountering words, songs, or messages about love and timing at just the right moment, or stumbling across conversations that feel like direct answers to questions you never spoke out loud. And while many people try to overanalyze these signs, their true purpose is not prediction but reassurance. A gentle reminder that you are not off track, that something is unfolding behind the scenes even if you cannot see it yet. Another deeply strange yet powerful sign is the internal urge to improve yourself, not to impress anyone, but to feel whole within yourself, where you suddenly care about healing, growth, emotional maturity, and inner peace, even if these things never mattered to you before. And this is one of the clearest indicators that a soulmate connection is near, because true soulmates don't complete each other, they complement each other. And the universe doesn't bring two broken halves together, it brings two whole individuals who are ready to walk side by side. During this time, you may also feel an unexplainable sense of anticipation, as if something important is about to happen, without knowing what or when, and this feeling doesn't come with anxiety or impatience, but with a quiet excitement, a calm expectation, like standing at a train station knowing the right train will arrive even if the schedule isn't visible yet. And this emotional state is rare, because it exists between desire and detachment, which is exactly where manifestation becomes powerful. Another sign that often confuses people is the temporary increase in challenges or emotional tests, where misunderstandings arise, plans fall apart, or you feel pushed to face unresolved fears. But this is not the universe punishing you, it's refining you, because before a soulmate enters your life, anything that would sabotage that connection needs to be addressed, healed, or released. And these tests are not meant to break you, they are meant to prepare you. You may also notice that your definition of love begins to change, where grand gestures and dramatic intensity lose their appeal, and emotional safety, mutual respect, and quiet understanding start to feel more attractive. And this shift is critical, because soulmate love is not chaotic, it is calm, deep, and steady, and the universe will not bring that kind of love into a heart that is addicted to emotional turbulence. As your soulmate manifests, your energy starts becoming more magnetic, not in a performative way, but in an authentic way, where people are drawn to your presence, conversations feel easier, and you feel more comfortable being yourself, even in silence. And this magnetism is not about charm or confidence alone, it's about alignment, because when you are aligned with your truth, you naturally attract those who resonate with it. There may also be moments when you feel strangely content being alone, even if you desire love, where solitude feels nourishing instead of empty. And this is one of the clearest signs that you are close, because loneliness repels love, while peaceful solitude invites it. And when you no longer need someone to fill a void, you create space for someone to share abundance. Sometimes, you may even feel emotionally connected to someone you haven't met yet, as if your heart is already familiar with a presence that hasn't arrived. And while this can sound unrealistic, many soulmate connections report this same experience, because memory does not only belong to the mind, it also belongs to the soul, and recognition often happens before introduction. As all of this unfolds, patience becomes your greatest ally, because manifestation is not about forcing timing, it's about trusting alignment, and every delay, every pause, every moment of waiting is shaping the conditions necessary for the connection to be healthy, balanced, and lasting, even if it feels frustrating at times. If you are experiencing several of these signs right now, it does not mean your soulmate will appear tomorrow or next week, but it does mean that the path is active, the process is moving, and the connection is closer than it has ever been before, not because of luck, but because of readiness. Remember, Soulmates don't arrive when you beg for them, they arrive when you stop chasing and start becoming, when you trust the journey more than the destination, and when your heart is open but not desperate, hopeful but not attached, grounded but still dreaming. And if there is one thing you should hold on to during this phase, it is this truth: what is meant for you will never miss you. It may take time, it may take growth, it may take healing, but it will arrive in a way that feels natural, peaceful, and unmistakably right, because when your soulmate finally steps into your life, it won't feel like a dramatic beginning, it will feel like a quiet continuation, as if your soul simply says, "There you are. I've been waiting." That as this journey continues, something even more subtle begins to happen inside you, something many people don't recognize until much later, and that is the quiet rewiring of your emotional reactions, where situations that once triggered fear, jealousy, insecurity, or overthinking now feel strangely manageable, almost distant, as if your soul has learned a new language of calm. And this emotional maturity doesn't come from pretending not to care, it comes from finally understanding what deserves your energy and what does not, because when your soulmate is manifesting, your nervous system itself begins to heal, preparing you for a connection that feels safe instead of overwhelming. You may start noticing that you no longer crave validation the way you once did. Compliments feel nice but unnecessary, attention feels pleasant but not addictive, and being chosen feels less important than being understood, which can feel unfamiliar at first, especially if you've spent years seeking reassurance from others. But this shift is powerful because soulmate love is not built on constant reassurance. It is built on mutual trust, and the universe will not bring you a partner who mirrors insecurity when you are learning stability. Another strange sign shows up in the way your memories resurface, where moments from childhood, past relationships, or old emotional wounds come back into your awareness, not to hurt you, but to be seen differently, processed with compassion instead of pain, and healed at the root, because before your soulmate arrives, your soul wants to make sure that love is no longer filtered through old trauma, and these memories are not setbacks. They are releases happening layer by layer. During this time, you might also feel drawn to silence more than noise, depth more than distraction, meaningful conversations more than casual talk, and this doesn't mean you are becoming distant or antisocial. It means your inner world is becoming richer, and when that happens, surface-level interactions naturally lose their appeal, because your soulmate connection will thrive on depth, presence, and emotional honesty, not constant stimulation. You may also notice that people who once felt very close to you start drifting away naturally, without conflict, without drama, just a quiet fading, and while this can feel bittersweet, it is not loss, it is alignment, because not everyone is meant to walk with you into the next chapter, and the universe gently removes those who would no longer resonate with the version of you that is emerging, creating space without forcing separation. At the same time, new people may enter your life briefly, not as permanent connections, but as mirrors, teachers, or messengers, showing you what you still need to heal, what you deserve, or what you should never accept again, and even though these encounters may be short-lived, their impact feels significant, almost purposeful, because they are not random meetings, they are preparations. Another sign that often feels confusing is the moment you stop obsessively searching for signs altogether, where you are no longer constantly asking the universe, when or who, and instead you find yourself saying, "I trust whatever is meant to come," and this surrender is not giving up, it is graduating, because manifestation accelerates the moment control is released, and trust replaces urgency. You might also experience moments of emotional déjà vu, where certain places, emotions, or situations feel strangely familiar, as if you have been here before, and this familiarity is not about the location or circumstance itself, but about the emotional frequency you are stepping into, one that matches the future connection you are aligning with. Because your soul recognizes patterns long before your mind understands them. As this alignment deepens, your dreams may become more vivid, symbolic, or emotionally charged, sometimes featuring unknown faces, warm feelings, or scenarios filled with comfort rather than chaos. And while not every dream has meaning, recurring emotional themes do, because the subconscious mind often rehearses what the conscious mind is preparing to experience, and dreams become a bridge between intention and reality. You may also notice a shift in how you perceive timing, where delays no longer feel like rejection, and waiting no longer feels like punishment, but like preparation. And this perspective change is crucial, because soulmate connections are not about speed, they are about sustainability, and what arrives too early often leaves too soon. Another powerful sign is the way you start speaking differently about love, even unconsciously, using language that reflects hope instead of bitterness, curiosity instead of fear, and openness instead of defense. And words carry energy, so when your language changes, your reality follows, aligning you with experiences that match your new emotional tone. You may also feel a gentle pull toward forgiveness, not necessarily reconciliation, but release, where you no longer want to carry resentment, not because others deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. And this inner forgiveness clears emotional space that soulmate love requires to flow freely, without being blocked by past pain. At times, you might feel tested by temptation, old patterns, or familiar emotional dynamics reappearing briefly, almost like the universe asking, "Are you sure you're done with this?" And how you respond in these moments matters, not because of punishment or reward, but because your choices reflect your readiness, and choosing differently than before is a sign of growth. As you continue aligning, you may feel an unshakable sense of inner grounding, where even uncertainty feels manageable, and even loneliness feels temporary, and this emotional stability is one of the strongest indicators that your soulmate is near, because soulmate love amplifies what already exists, and stability amplifies harmony. Eventually, you begin to understand that manifestation is not about attracting someone new, but about remembering who you were before fear taught you to settle, before pain taught you to close off, and before disappointment taught you to doubt timing. And this remembrance is the final stage of preparation, where you return to yourself fully. And as this part of the journey unfolds, it becomes clear that love is not something you chase or force into existence, it is something you allow when resistance dissolves, when trust deepens, and when your life becomes a place where love feels welcome, not necessary. And this is the moment when paths quietly begin to cross, when alignment turns into encounter, and when what was once invisible starts becoming real. As the manifestation moves closer to its turning point, something profound begins to settle within you, a kind of quiet knowing that does not rely on evidence, logic, or reassurance, but simply exists, steady and calm, like a truth your soul recognizes even when your mind still has questions. And this knowing does not shout, it whispers, yet it carries more certainty than any promise you have ever been given, because when a soulmate is nearing, doubt slowly loses its power over you. You may notice that your fear of being alone begins to dissolve, replaced by a deeper respect for your own presence, where your own company no longer feels like something to escape from, but something to return to, and this shift is critical, because soulmate love does not rescue you from yourself, it joins you when you have already made peace with who you are, and the universe waits for this moment before allowing two paths to merge. During this phase, your emotional triggers soften, not disappear completely, but lose their intensity, as if the volume has been turned down on reactions that once controlled you, and when conflict, uncertainty, or disappointment arises, you respond with awareness instead of impulse, and this is not emotional numbness, it is emotional mastery, a sign that your heart is no longer ruled by survival mode, but guided by discernment. Another subtle sign appears in the way you start honoring your boundaries without guilt, where saying no feels natural, not selfish, and protecting your energy feels responsible, not rude, and this boundary clarity is essential, because soulmate connections are built on mutual respect, not sacrifice, and the universe will not bring someone into your life who requires you to abandon yourself to be loved. You may also experience moments of deep gratitude for lessons that once felt unfair, recognizing how past disappointments shaped your strength, wisdom, and clarity, and this gratitude is not forced positivity, it is integration, the moment where pain transforms into insight, and once that transformation happens, the emotional weight of the past releases its grip entirely. As this unfolds, your attraction patterns shift dramatically, where intensity no longer confuses you for intimacy, where unpredictability no longer feels exciting, and where emotional availability becomes the most attractive quality of all, and this reprogramming is one of the clearest indicators that your soulmate energy is aligning, because soulmate love feels safe first, exciting second, and deep always. You may find yourself letting go of timelines, expectations, and imagined scenarios, no longer scripting how love must arrive or what it must look like, and this openness is not indifference, it is trust, because rigid expectations block organic connections, while openness allows life to surprise you in the best possible way. There may also be moments when you feel emotionally exposed, not weak, but open, where you sense your heart is softening, becoming more receptive, more willing to feel deeply again despite past hurt, and this vulnerability is not dangerous at this stage, it is a sign of readiness, because only a healed heart dares to open without armor. Another sign shows up in the way synchronicities become more personal, less generic, where messages seem tailored to your specific situation, conversations answer questions you have been carrying silently, and timing aligns in ways that feel intentional rather than coincidental, and while these moments may seem small, together they form a pattern of reassurance that you are moving in the right direction. You may also notice that your sense of self-worth stabilizes, no longer rising or falling based on how others treat you, and this internal validation is crucial, because soulmate love is a mirror, and a stable sense of self creates a reflection of respect, consistency, and emotional safety. As the manifestation deepens, your inner dialogue becomes kinder, more patient, less critical, and this self-compassion matters more than anything else, because the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every relationship that follows, and soulmate love simply amplifies the way you already treat yourself. There may be moments of emotional quiet, where nothing dramatic seems to be happening, no signs, no messages, no movement, and these pauses are not stagnation, they are integration, the calm before alignment completes itself, and learning to trust these still moments is part of the preparation. You may also feel a strong pull toward authenticity, where pretending, people-pleasing, or hiding parts of yourself feels exhausting, and being real feels relieving, and this authenticity acts like a beacon, drawing in those who resonate with your truth while naturally repelling those who do not, creating clarity without conflict. At this stage, you begin to understand that love does not arrive to save you from life, but to walk with you through it, and this understanding removes pressure from the idea of a soulmate, allowing the connection to arrive without unrealistic expectations or emotional dependency. You may sense that you are closing a chapter without consciously trying to, where the old version of you feels distant, not because it was wrong, but because it has evolved, and this quiet ending is often the final signal before a new beginning begins to form. And as part 3 of this journey settles into your awareness, one truth becomes undeniable: you are no longer preparing for love, you are becoming love, and when you embody the energy you once sought, the universe responds not with delay, but with alignment, gently arranging the moment, the meeting, and the connection in a way that feels effortless, natural, and unmistakably right. That as everything gently comes together, there is a sense of emotional completion that settles within you, not because something dramatic has happened, but because something important has finally aligned, and in this quiet alignment, you stop searching for proof, stop questioning timing, and stop wondering if you are doing something wrong, because deep down you know that nothing is missing anymore, even before anyone new enters your life. You realize that the journey itself has already changed you, softened you, strengthened you, and taught you how to love without losing yourself, and this realization feels peaceful, not exciting, but grounded, like standing on solid ground after a long emotional storm, and this is exactly the emotional state soulmate love recognizes and responds to. There is no rush now, no urgency, no need to force outcomes, because patience has transformed into trust, and trust has transformed into readiness, and in this readiness, love no longer feels like a question mark, but like a quiet certainty waiting for its moment to reveal itself. When your soulmate finally appears, it will not feel like chaos or confusion, it will feel like recognition, like familiarity without explanation, comfort without effort, and connection without performance, and you will not need to convince yourself that this is right. Your body, your heart, and your soul will all agree at the same time. Until that moment arrives, you are already complete, already aligned, already worthy, and this understanding is the greatest gift the waiting season could have given you, because love that arrives to a whole heart does not break, it builds, it stays, and it grows. And if there is one final truth to carry with you, it is this: what is meant for you is already on its way, not because you asked loudly enough, but because you became ready quietly, and when the moment comes, it will not feel like something new entering your life, it will feel like something that always belonged there, finally finding its place.